$240,000 is considered to be a top 5% earner in the US, and less than 0.1% of all 20-year-olds make that, with the median being $41,000 a year. I've made multiple six figures multiple times in my 20s, starting from scratch. With the internet, AI, and technology getting better, opportunities are endless today. We're gonna need a shift in mindset, the willingness to work, and scale. The big mindset shift that I had to have, going from thinking about getting a job to understanding that it was only gonna pay me, my entry-level position was gonna pay me $42,000 a year. That's what led me to Google how do people get rich, how do people make money. I found sales, I found the financial services industry. I started to listen to YouTube videos, podcasts, read books, and understand that there's this other world out there that I didn't even know about. By the way, at my job, I would have been lucky, they said, if I could work really hard for 10 years to make $80,000, $90,000 a year then. I had to start thinking about what I wanted to do, as in the outcome that I was trying to get, and the path that I was actually gonna get there came second. And for me, I was saying, okay, I wanna make multiple six figures, be able to grow my income, make a lot of money, and clearly the job was just not gonna get it done. And there's no shame in having a job, but if it's not the long-term place that you want to be, there needs to be another plan behind it, and you're gonna use the job to get by and kind of fuel this other thing until you get off the ground. And this is not an overnight process where you just go, all right, I'm not gonna have a job, I'm just gonna get into some performance-based pay thing, start my own business, and start making money in this other thing. I went from secured pay with an hourly wage to all of a sudden I'm gonna start having to eat what I kill, and I'm only gonna be in commissions. And this is when I stopped thinking about making money as me trading hour for this many dollars, and I started thinking about trading products and services for money. And look, I don't think that you should go out there and start some crazy company with some idea that's never been heard of before, because the likelihood of it succeeding is way less than you just joining a sales role in an industry that's proven to win. Like, we're trying to put the odds in your favor, not put you at a deficit. I tell my team this all the time: if it's worked once, it'll work again. And that's why I joined a sales organization where other people were already making $5,000, $10,000 a week, and I didn't have to recreate the wheel. I just did what everybody else was doing, or at least like in that general direction, and then that's how I started to make money. And now that you're starting to change your perspective to think like an entrepreneur and think like a salesperson or somebody that's in business for themselves, you'll start to realize how much money is being traded all around you every single day. Go to the gas station to fill up your gas tank. Guess what? Someone's getting paid. You have a pipe burst in your house and a plumber has to come fix it. That plumber is making money. There is literally an endless amount of money that's being traded around us all day long, and it's our job to, instead of sitting on the sidelines doing back-end whatever work for some big giant corporation, we gotta get in on the commissions that are being traded so we can make more money. Imagine you start a cleaning company, and the way that you got leads was going knocking around your neighborhood, knocking on every single door and asking them if they wanted their house to be cleaned, and you charge $200 every time. All of a sudden, instead of you showing up to work and making X amount of dollars a week, which 41 grand a year, that's just about $800 a week. So if you cleaned 4 people's houses in a week, you'd make just as much money as you would working at that job. But what if you could clean 2 houses a day and then you were making $2,400 a week? You could probably work the same exact amount of hours but make more money. And that's because you're providing more value in the marketplace. And so this service that you're trading for the dollars is more valuable than whatever the job or entry-level position that most people have when they're young that pays $41,000 a year. And this is how you start to get commissions, get into this trade of money that happens around us. Once you're making money and you're in this game, and you could be selling anything. It could be real estate, cars, insurance, and it really doesn't matter, but now you're a part of the money flow that's happening around you. And the scary part of it might be that you don't know if it's really gonna work that well at the beginning, but this is the general direction and idea that you need to start to work towards if you actually want to make more money. Most people in their 20s, they don't step out and do something on their own. They follow the path of being in that job, and then in 10 years, in their 30s, they're still there and they're making a little bit more money, and they don't have an opportunity to be able to grow past that. And this is where things get fun, because $2,400 is a start, and you can sell more and spend more time cleaning houses, but there's another level in the game where you start to think like a business owner. And this is for any service that you provide, but we're gonna stick with the same example. The idea now is that you wanna sell more with the same amount of time, and you're capped on the amount of hours per day, and maybe it takes you, let's just say, 2-3 hours, 4 hours a day to be able to clean a house, so you can really only get 2 or maybe 3 a day. And this is where scale comes in, because now you're thinking like a business owner, you're a part of the trading money, and now we're gonna start to say, okay, how can I get double or triple times the revenue for myself and my business. And it's gonna come from working with other people. And maybe you get all the clients now and you have 10 people that go out there and clean, and you pay them 20-30% commission of all of the sales that you make, and then you link them up with the homeowners so that they can start to make money. I know that this sounds super crazy if you're not in business and you do have a job right now, but these are the things that you'll start to figure out along the way when you're actually doing these things. When I got into life insurance sales, I literally became obsessed with producing, and I sold so much business every single day. I was waking up at 5 a.m. dialing leads on the East Coast, calling in Hawaii super late at night if I wanted to make more sales, and I was maxing out my time. And I realized that that wasn't going to get me farther than what I was doing right now. There really was no other way to get past that point. So I started to build a team, train sales reps on doing exactly what I was doing. And so instead of me just producing and making more money, I started to think about it as a business of the amount of volume that we could get out. And then the insurance companies would pay me a little bit every single time that I taught someone else how to sell their products. So they're basically saying, Tyler, keep on selling our product. We'll continue to pay you to incentivize you to grow our business. And so I started to think about my business as a life insurance agency and not just being a salesperson. And it wasn't super simple, and I didn't just like put all the pieces in place and scale an agency. There's a lot of challenges and problems that you're gonna face. But what happened was I went from 0 production in month 2, 3, I made my first sale. Month 4, I wrote 40,000 in business. Month 6 or 7, I think it was 6 or 7, I wrote 40,000, then 50,000, 60, 70, and more than that. I started to go up and up, and then that's when I made the mindset shift. And then about 8 months after that, I had a team doing 250,000 a month in production. And that's way more business than I would have ever been able to write on my own. And the reason we were able to get that much volume done is because we had a lot of people selling insurance. And you can do the same thing if it's the cleaning company example. You can clean 10 times as many houses with just 10 times the amount of people cleaning the houses. And let's just say that you're cleaning 12 houses a week or something. The idea becomes, okay, how do we start cleaning 12 houses a day? And most likely it's just gonna be with more people. But in any business that you're selling, you're trying to do more volume of production. You're trying to get more done in the same amount of time or less time. And if you think about giant brands like Lululemon, it's like, how do they make so much money? Well, they have brand affiliates on social media. They have ads. They have a giant, chain of stores in basically every mall that you can think of. Like, they have so much publicity that even when they're not trying to advertise, they're advertising. And people walk into those stores every single day because they're just walking right by it. So they get a lot of offers out just because they're everywhere. They have links and websites and in-person stores and all that stuff all over the place. If you're an independent salesperson, you're the only person putting out offers for yourself. And so you have to start to change your attitude from it's just me putting out the offers to I'm gonna need a whole bunch of people putting out offers here, which will lead us to a totally different challenge being an entrepreneur and in business for yourself, which is like retaining people, making sure that you have a good community and culture and your organization is set up properly and you have the right systems and management and guidance for everybody. And I want to come back to this really quickly because if you're like, man, I want to scale a business now, it's like there's a stepping stones process to this, right? Like you can make really solid money doing something on your own or independently in sales, and just start there and then take the next step as it comes. Instead of you trying to jump to step 6 or like you're trying to make this giant leap. And if I had never sold insurance at a high level, I could never teach someone how to sell insurance at a high level. And I leveraged CRMs, technology, dialers. I tried every lead source that I could, and then I got something that worked, and then that's when I started to teach people how to do it. And as you do start to lead people, you have to understand that they are not required to work with you. There are opportunities everywhere. Remember, all around us every single day, it is competition. People are trading products and services. There's different opportunities. People are recruiting to different companies all around us. So why should somebody work for you? And you might be like, wow, it's kind of overwhelming to think about. I haven't even started and made the first step, but maybe you do, and then you come back and you watch this video when you are ready for this step, and you have to realize that you're gonna have really solid onboarding. So when people come on board, hey, here's exactly what your role is gonna be. Here's the 10 things that we do every single time that we clean a house. We check these boxes every single time, and then that's what we're telling the client we're gonna do. So we have a really clear expectation of exactly what to do on the client end and as the rep on your team. You're gonna have to figure out how to pay them. Are you just gonna pay them with Cash App or something? Or are you gonna set up a pay structure where you're gonna have an automatic deposits for them? You're gonna have to start to lead people. People wanna follow a leader. They don't just wanna work and make money. They wanna be a part of something. Hey, we're changing this neighborhood. We're gonna help this community. We're gonna help people live a better life, not get sick because they're gonna be breathing in so much dust, and we're gonna clean their house, right? You have to find a way to lead people and be a good leader. Recognize the people who are doing well. And it sounds super simple because I'm just like explaining this like overview, but these are all the things that I had to learn the hard way because I was losing reps, wasn't able to retain salespeople at the beginning. Onboarding was chaotic and I had no idea what I was doing. And over time, I realized that what I was doing didn't work and I needed to make a change so I could actually grow this thing. And that's what led me to a lot of these adjustments that I made in my business that worked really well. Most importantly, out of this entire video, if you take one thing away, it's just get up and start doing something. I was super capable in my 20s early on, but I was at an hourly wage job that wasn't paying me any money. And I had all the skills necessary to win big in sales and this commission opportunity that's happening around us every single day. But I just didn't even know that that path existed. If you just start working towards that goal that you have, if it's to make six figures, $500,000, $1 million, like you'll start to find a path that will lead you there. And most likely, I'm just being honest, some people, they do get there from a corporate world and corporate strategy, but I wasn't able to see that in my path. And if I was, it was gonna take me way longer to get there. I actually remember there was someone who's like a VP or a president or something like that at the company that I was at, and he was making like 180 grand a year. And I was like, man, he's been here forever. He's 55 years old. Like, I wanna make that next year, right? Like, that's what I was thinking in my head. And so the path that I was on wasn't gonna lead me to the destination that I wanted. And so once I found my destination, I realized I need a new path. So get up and go do something. Get involved in all this trading of dollars that's happening all around you instead of just getting paid hourly while the company you work for is a part of it.